Okay, here we are. Ducks Don't Get Cold Feet, number 9. And I'm really excited. We got Micky Goonan here. And some of you might not be aware, but I'm a bit of a Mafs fan. And, well, sorry, that's a lie. My wife makes me watch it. And got Micky here. And I'd have to say, I'm going to start straight off the bat. Micky, most entertaining on Mafs. There's no doubt about that. And when I watch that show and see how much you stir the pot, really made, I actually saw a lot of myself in that. And I was so excited from it. So welcome to Adelaide, back to Adelaide.
Back home. Thank you for having me, JP. I must admit, I could see you're a bit of a pot stirrer myself when a famous picture came across in my feed with their finger staring straight at me, eh?
Someone's got to do it, man. So,
don't they just?
And we just had enough of it. And yeah, that's funny about how things do go viral. That is definitely something that went viral. And you might not be aware, but we're on Fox 8, Fox News in the United States, the Daily Mirror. We're on World BBC News.
Fantastic.
Interesting crowd to that one. But we are here today in Adelaide, and we're in, what are we, in May? Or May? 2020, COVID, probably week 5 for us really here in Australia.
Yep.
And obviously dramatically been affected and for a positive way in us in the supermarket game. You're slinging ice out there.
Yeah,
I can only assume it's been tough.
It has. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely tough. You really got kissed on the end, didn't you? With in the supermarket game with this happening. But we won't say it's your fault. But it's got to be good times for some, I guess. But yeah, it is hard out there. I think the economy's struggling big time in general.
And we sell like lots of products in the store, and we've been trading really well. But when you look at ice, you think of going away, you think of having beers on ice where you're having plenty of people around for parties. All restaurants buying a fair bit of ice from you, whether it's, do you sell shaved ice as well or just the cube ice?
No, just packaged ice that you get in the ice bags. They're available at your servos and your supermarkets. So yeah, definitely associated with sort of the partying scene in the good way, and I guess that is sort of crippled. It's not something you hoard up on either, so it's not something that you buy abundant amounts of in a hope to use later. Otherwise, you store it next to your toilet roll and it gets all soggy.
Well, no one's been able to do that until just now, because we're starting to see toilet paper, but people just think, oh, you're selling everything. And when you actually break down the categories to see what people are really buying, ice would be a category that's been affected.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely affected big time for us. So all we can do is hang in there and wait till sort of Scott Morrison lets us all out the house after we've been grounded for 6 months.
So you're here. We're lucky because Sydney, you don't have to quarantine afterwards. Mm-hmm. And I believe Adelaide, you don't have to quarantine. You need special permission.
So I needed to get special permission to get in here, and I'm surprised they let me in, but they let me in. I was actually here on critical maintenance for the plant. So I grew up in the business sort of my whole life, and I'm one of the only few in Australia with the experience required that was needed. So here I am, and I managed to squeeze in a good catch up with my mate JP.
Awesome. So when we're talking about ice, most people just think of Ben Cousins. And I totally think that they are thinking of you now, the Iceman of Adelaide, and you don't even live in Adelaide. That you must be pretty proud of that.
Hey, I've been called worse, let's be honest. I could write a little encyclopedia of the names that I've been called. But Ice King isn't too bad, I guess. But I'm a pretty modest guy at heart, I wouldn't say I was the king of anything,
So coming back to Adelaide, and obviously you've worked up in the ice business your whole life. Would that be fair to say?
Yep. So I did my time. Similar to yourself, I moved away from my roots here in Adelaide. I lived in the Northern Territory, which was a good spot, I must admit. They know how it goes on in the Northern Territory. It's God's country, but it is wild. It's the wild north up there. I lived there for 6 years, so and was running an operation there when I branched out onto my own.
So how old were you when you were up in Darwin? My wife's sisters lives in Darwin, and they know how to make the most of it.
Yeah, no, I was 20 when I moved up there. So and that was just before the big gas expansion hit Darwin. So I guess there's a lot out there that your daddy's boy, you got all family money. That wasn't the case. I did get quite lucky in Darwin when we went up there. There was a population boom, and the working sort of the workers there just expanded dramatically, and because it's so bloody hot up there, and with such a population influx, and a lot of money going around the economy, they were partying and they were buying ice, and so I got a bit of luck along the way, and in definitely those couple of years to where I started off, that was a big sort of leg up, if you like.